My name is Sarah Thomas Sample, the executive pastry chef at Northridge Country Club. And then today we're going to make banana bread. A very exciting thing to do. So once again, before you even start, make sure you read your recipe, double check in everything, get your mise en place set in place, because once again, if you get your mise en place scaled out and laid out, it just makes making desserts so much easier than, oh, I need this or I need that. So everything's set in place, and then so here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get my paddle into my mixer. I'm going to go ahead and add my butter. Doesn't want to come out. So it's always good to have a spatula nearby. And then I'm going to add my sugar. I'm going to raise it up and turn it on to medium or so and let it mix for about a minute or so. Nice and creamy. Okay, so it's all like creamed together. So we're going to just turn this off. So the most important thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our flour and salt and baking soda and baking powder. You always want to make sure you sift it, just to make sure that there's no lumps, because you don't really want to break into a nice, delicious banana bread and you see flour chunks. Once again, I have an extra piece of parchment. Go ahead and add my salt, baking soda, and powder. See, then once again, you got all these little chunks. We're just gonna mix everything together. Make sure it's going through the sift. Okay. With this recipe, it might be a little different than other recipes. You're going to cream your butter and sugar, and then you're going to add your flour. It's a very different recipe, but it's always good. So we're just going to go ahead and just dump it in there. We're going to slowly turn it on, and we're going to mix this. And we just want everything to mix very well. It's going to look a little bit mealy than a normal recipe, because mostly banana bread is more like a creamy method. It's just very creamy and more liquidy. This one we're just adding the flour before the eggs. Just gotta say, it's a little bit different. I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit. Slowly turn it off for a second, just to make sure I scrape the sides. Turn it back on. We are about there. It looks very mealy. The butter is cut into the flour. It might take, a couple seconds, less than a minute. Okay. So with this process, everything's mealy, everything's cut in very well, and then I'm going to add my eggs. With this, you're just basically just going to add your eggs, probably all at once. We're just going to mix until this is all incorporated. Boom. So everything's incorporated. Now this is the fun part. This is where you get messy, but I'm going to cheat and use gloves. So we're going to add our bananas, and if you have bananas that are dark like this is perfect. More ripe the bananas, more flavor comes out into the banana bread. So you really, really want them to be really brown and, not too nasty, but just very nice and brown. And then, put them in a bowl, and you're just going to mash them with your hands. It doesn't have to be perfect. because it's going to get mixed in the paddle in your mixture. But this is where, you know, you get a little fun, you know, get some aggravation out, you know, mash some bananas. So you got your bananas all mashed up in your bowl. And then we're just gradually gonna toss it in there while the mixer's off. Make sure all that gooey stuff gets in there. The other thing with this is when you might want to add nuts. You can add walnuts, you can add pecans, maybe roughly a cup. If you are a very nutty person and you like a lot of nuts, you can always add like a cup and a half, 2 cups chopped up if you want them toasted. You can also add chocolate chips. Anything that you would like to spice up your banana bread, go right ahead, feel free, you know, have fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this, scrape the paddle, get everything off. I'm going to take my spatula and just really making sure, once again, your batter is just, you know, mixed, making sure the bottom is getting mixed into the batter, just in case that the paddle didn't touch the bottom. I'm just going to set this aside. Okay. So I basically just have, you know, a pan loaf. You can use a meatloaf pan. Whatever you have in your house, it's probably work just as the same. So what I'm going to do is just spray it with some pan spray. Cut a piece of parchment paper. I already had some cake circles, so I'm kind of cheating. So, and the cake circles actually work very well. They fit in just right. But you just want to make sure you spray your pan, because if you don't, then you are going to have issues trying to pop it out later. So then, everything sprayed, lined, and then I'm going to go ahead, pour my batter in there. So after everything is in your pan, I'm going to go ahead and get it in the oven. I do mine at 325 for about roughly an hour. So the banana bread's all done. I got it pulled out, got it on a little board. I'm gonna let it cool for maybe, you know, 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then take it out, put it on a little rack or on a little board, and just let it cool. And then when it's all ready to rock and roll and it's all cooled down, and then I just cut some slices, put on a plate, and enjoy. You can toast it up, add some butter. You could almost do anything that you would like to do with your banana bread. Once again, I'm really happy to do this video. I hope you enjoy doing it yourself. So once again, enjoy.